Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all doing today? It's now Wednesday, March the 21st. It is about 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to play this mother effing breakout. So let's see if we're actually going to support. Thank you very much for joining me. If you guys are new to my channel, very happy to have you guys here. Now, you guys are not censored anymore. No more Fahrenheit 9/11 by Ray Bradbury. You guys can chat. Chat, be free. Free, my baby whales. Free Willy. You guys can chat. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, how's it going? I hope you guys have had a fantastic night. I've had a fantastic morning. And I hope you guys have had a very good lunch so far already as well. So, support has almost been found. We are about to confirm it in a few short minutes here, and we're going to go over an Elliott wave count. This stream won't be too long because I don't want to keep you guys since there's a very big position to be managing. So the way that I'm counting my Elliott waves right now, and let's hope that I'm right. If I'm wrong, it's going to be disaster, but I do believe that the lowest absolute point we'll get to is about 86.50. Perhaps we will see one wick just pierce right here, but I don't think it's going to break the 100 moving average. It's just way too strong from the way everything's looking. Considering we're finding these massive supports already with these very long wicks coming down, right? Whenever we see long wicks like this coming down, think of it like a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. Lisa, ohayo gozaimasu. Ashiteru, Lisa. Lisa's from Japan. I obviously hi to her. O genki desu ka? So imagine every time you guys see long wicks coming down, what it basically implies is that there's rejection to the downside, right? So the rejection to the downside. So we came down, rejected right here. We rejected how much here? We rejected literally $100. Here we rejected from $8,800 to, we rejected $70. Here we rejected from $87.50 to another $75. So we're finding these constant rejections to the downside where the bulls are definitely interested in supporting this level, right? The volume, the sell-off volume is actually slowly dying. And that's how I interpret this right here, okay? Like for example, if we look right here, right, we see a large sell-off volume, then the sell-off volume slowly declines, and then we find support that's very steady. We get long wicks coming down, sell-off volume was increasing from here, decreases here, then we get series of wicks that reject. So by that logic as well, sell-off volume there, support, small volume. So don't always think of that the bulls need to rush in with massive volume to support. That's kind of a misconception. So a few days, actually not a few days ago, last night, we were talking about this specific scenario right here. Actually, I have it pulled up already. So we were talking about this scenario right there where we could possibly get up to 10K. And this region right here is basically exactly where we are right now. We didn't exactly finish off at 8,900. We went up a tiny bit, but regardless, it's the same kind of count where we got massive resistance around that 9,000 to 9,100 region, as you guys saw, right? Now this was a very good ratio right here. This is what was posted how many hours ago? 14 hours ago, and this was scenario 2. Right, breaking above 90.40 will signal a rally, but that didn't actually happen, and that's why I was tweeting last night saying that I'm not really digging the price action much at all, so I never entered along. And instead, I waited for this scenario 2 to happen. Scenario 1 almost happened, okay? We need to be very aware of these differences in scenarios that can happen. Now, we broke above 90.40, but we didn't actually get enough conviction to break through it. Because that didn't happen, we now look at scenario 2. Scenario 2 is right here, says 87.88, right? Right around this range is exactly where that's a really good buy. Now, a good stop, honestly, stop loss right here for me is like 8,500, 85 to 8,600, but I honestly don't think I'm going to stop myself out. I think I'm just going to end up buying a lot more as it goes to the bottom right here, okay? So let's take a look at the coin market cap, 24-hour volume. We are at a very nice amount now. We've actually gained $2 billion in the market cap just over the past 10 minutes since I've refreshed this page. The 24-hour volume is at $6.3 billion. Let's look at historical data. So we're trending right around the average for the past 3 days. But the good news is that since the 7.2K scenario, which we hit it with flying colors, for those that are still holding Bitcoin from 7.2K, to be 100% honest, you got no reason to sell at all. You should be riding this thing to 10K right now. Just my personal opinion. So we're definitely steadying right now for in general for the Bitcoin right now. So let's take a look at the overall market cap. So overall market cap for all coins right now, we should see most coins in the green, I'm guessing. It's kind of a mix. Ripple's down a little bit. EOS actually ended up bouncing one of the more heavier ones right now, as we can see in the chart, right? It's looking like it's almost ready for a small short scenario. So yeah, EOS was kind of one of the champs that ended up rallying. ICX rallied well as well. Cardano rallied very, very well as well. So there's a lot of coins that are looking very strong right now in the market cap, right? So, sorry, on coin market cap. So let's see where this could possibly end up getting to. The way that I'm calling my Elliott wave is like this. I'm calling this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On a small time frame, we can see a lot of these much better. So that is how I'm calling my official first wave going upwards like that. Excuse me, sorry about that. So I call this my wave 1. I call this my wave 2 right here. And let's just annotate this to make sure that we have a very concise idea of what these subwaves are. So that is, no, I didn't mean to do that. What just happened? Okay, here we go. So this is now my subwave 1. This is going to be my subwave 2 right here. Now we're looking for a possible 1618 hit, okay? That's going to be a very good number to be considering right now. So if we take our Fibonacci extension tool from where 7,250 range was to the peak right here, then we extend it outwards, we're looking for at least a 1618 hit with a possible 100 extension hit. So let's just keep going to see where we can actually get this to. The way we want to see Elliott waves is like this, okay? We have 5 subwaves going up, okay, like that. And we want to get the wave 3 to at least a 100 extension. And what I mean by 100 extension, think of it like this, okay? If this price range right here moves 100%, okay, let's just say this is equal to the 100% mark. So if we take a 100% move from where it bounced, what we want is for it to be at least a 1-to-1 bounce, okay? Does that make sense, guys? So then we want to get a 1618 up there as well. And the reason we do this is because of Elliott waves rules, which says that wave 3 is often the longest and it is never the shortest, okay? Because wave 3 is the most impulsively moving up wave. It's the one that we would like to count 5 beautiful waves that gets the 1-to-1 extension. So if we do a quick subwave count in here, this is what we're looking for inside of these waves, okay? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Notice how when we get 5 in this structure right here, we get a correction. Well, how is that any different than if this was a bigger degree, right? So that makes 5 waves, and then we could see it possibly coming down. So now we're uptrending over $50, $60 already. We're finding some heavy support right now, in my opinion. And that's a very good sign that we're finding support. My base price is around $88.35. So I'm pretty happy with my price. I didn't really do the best job of laddering, but I'm okay with my position right now. I'm just going to ride it out and see how it goes. So when we take our Fibonacci extension tool, we start from this point, click on this point, click on the highest point there, and then click around this range for 2. It can just be on the same line over here. Then notice right here, we're getting to a 1-to-1 extension hit, right? And that's what we would like to get because wave 3 is often the longest and it is never the shortest. Therefore, if this one can do a possible hit right there, we now say to ourselves, okay, well, where is wave 4 most likely going to trend, right? We try to get our wave 4 in here. And we say to ourselves as well, okay, if we zoom in very close to here, we would like wave 3 to at least get a 1-to-1 extension in here as well, okay? That's something that we like to say, right? So wave 3 will get a 1-to-1 extension. I'm doing it pretty poorly right here. But you guys see what I mean, right? We want to get 100% extension and almost a 1618 extension for this wave inside of here. So there's many small little sub rules that we would like to follow for Elliott wave. And then we say to ourselves, all right, well, If wave 4 acts as a hard, or sorry, if wave 1 right here acts as a resistance right here, then wave 4 must surely act as some sort of support. Then when we go upwards, we take our Fibonacci range like this, and we say, where is it likely to support? Well, it's likely to support around these regions where wave 1 and wave 4 is. And then wave 4, the structure that we're on right now, guys, we are right here in this structure of Elliott wave. Elliott wave is not the only tool that you should be using. You should be using it in conjunction with other theories and also other forms of technical analysis and indicators as well. So when we look at the structure, where are we? We are in this structure right now that I'm highlighting. So this is a very good place to be in where we're trying to catch this particular bounce. So I'm going to delete some of this here, and let's get it on in detail. Now that we've got some of the theory that's ironed out, it's very important to understand the theory and the method behind the madness. So now we ask ourselves, where are these possible waves? What I am seeing is I see this as wave 1, I see this as wave 2, I see this as wave 3, and this is pretty much wave 4, we can say. There might be, you know, a small correction to the up, and then it's gonna waver a little bit for a while, but this is something that you want to ride, right? You just want to hold and ride. Now the chances of it being just like this is not that likely, where it's gonna just go all the way up like that. We have to accommodate for the fact that it takes time, right? It takes time, and if you guys notice right here, this one here actually took about 19 hours to consolidate. So, you know, there's a good chance that this is going to consolidate for a while as well. So right now, how many bars are we in? We're only about 3 hours in. So possibly it might actually sideways for the next few days, which is absolutely acceptable, right? So we will accommodate for some of the time that it can take to consolidate, because that's most likely what's going to happen. We'll just average it out to maybe 15 hours or so. And then the next possible wave, we want it to hit at least a 1-to-1 extension. So we're going to say it's going to go to at least $9,300 and most likely break slightly above it, because that's just how the rules of Elliott waves go. So if this right here is exactly 9,300, it will most likely pierce the line and get to at least 9,300. Let's be very conservative, and we will say about 94, 9,350. Now we take a look at a few more things and we say, okay, well, where are the next regions of resistance? Let's go back a little bit, and we're just going to try to identify some of them. Well, we see these massive cluster regions as well, right? Right around here, we're definitely seeing some major resistance. I think you guys would all agree with me as well, right? So right here, major resistance. So this whole zone that we're looking at is a very unlikely zone for it to break the very first attempt, okay? That's a very unlikely zone for it to break, and I'm just going to keep extending it. So is it logical for us to assume that it's not going to break this? Absolutely it is. Just like how we take a look at this region as well, we say to ourselves, well, this is kind of like a large region of resistance around here, okay? Let's see if we can actually go really far back to take a look at some more data. So notice how far this line actually extends around the 9,300 range. Well, that's a really big region of resistance. So if we take a look at the resistance that we hit yesterday, I think you guys would agree that right here is a resistance zone, right? Let's see if we can actually extend it further back. Yeah, we definitely can. So are you guys starting to notice why we're finding resistance around the 9,000, 9,100 range? Because of this, I'll make it blue, okay? This blue line right here is resistance, right? So we hit it, people say, all right, this is fantastic. I'm gonna take some of my profit now, okay? I'm gonna take some of my profit. We don't really have a chance of breaking it right now. So let's say we accounted for this blue line right here, okay? That blue line, that was a massive resistance. We say to ourselves, well, why else could it possibly fail there, right? And why would it possibly want to bounce here as well? Well, let's say we drew lines. We assume parallelity always, okay? Assume parallelity. And what do you guys notice? Isn't it that simple, guys? Like, look how simple it is to deduce this, right? When you guys get into the habit of doing technical analysis and you identify trend lines that are resistances and supports, then when you are also identifying sloped trend lines as well in a channel, it can become fairly easy to identify the supports. And here we just assume parallelity. We get one touch right here where wave 2 ends. We get another touch right here for the first subwave, and here it was very likely for it to get to the top of the channel resistance, right? And right around these regions here, the blue line, that's where there's a lot of bull traps, right? So these bulls are simply just getting trapped in there. Now, I don't know if it's going to trend out of there. I don't know if it's going to break here, right? But let's just assume parallelity and just say that it's going to trend slightly above it, right? We have no other reason to assume that. And if you guys notice right here, this is exactly where we're getting roughly, right? We're getting right around to these regions here, around 95.50, or sorry, 93.50. Why don't I see this as a bear flag? See, what is a bear flag? See, this whole structure is a bear flag? There's no way this is a bear flag if you're talking about this thing right here. I don't see it as a bear flag right now because we finished our ABC correction down over here already. And we also got 5 exact subwaves coming down. So when we incorporate these theories coming down, it's really difficult for us to see this as a bear flag. So that's one of the major reasons as well. So now if we look on a closer detail, let's say I deleted some of this right here. A little bit too much. So if we take our Fibonacci retracement for this particular substructure, we see that we got resistance, guys. We got resistance right at the 618 Fibonacci level. So there was a reaction from the market. Now, if we take it from this structure, which is all of the ABC, what we also see is that, hey, this is right at the 382 level as well. So depending on where people are finding their reactions and drawing their retracements, we're getting some sort of indication that there's a big reaction where the resistance is right now. We look on the different time frames. Let's go to a daily and see how it's looking, right? The daily right now is looking to be a fairly bearish candle, but we still have about 5 hours to go. So this could be seen as a bearish candle, or it could just be seen as an indecision candle. It really all depends on how you look at it as well. So right here, we're getting a candle coming down, right? We're bouncing off of the 21 EMA, which is a positive sign. We're still uptrending, but finding that is starting to curve off slightly here. So definitely my bias right now is still fairly bullish, right? You know, we hit these major resistances, we're bouncing off of it, but we're not exactly bouncing to the downside of the 6-hour chart. I mean, we found resistance on the previous candle, and now we got like a lot of time to go still. So on the 2-hour chart, you know, we got a bearish engulfing candle, we got a shooting star, it ended up coming down. Now let's go to the 1-hour chart. We're seeing like a hammer candle right here as well. We got 42 minutes to go there. We might end up getting a nice doji. Here, this is one of the ones where I'm finding the most support because of all of these indecision candles. But what concerns me is the volume. That's why I'm keeping my stop loss fairly tight right now. I'm keeping my stop loss at 85 to 8600. Hopefully it doesn't get to that region over there. We look on the 15-minute chart, it's possible that a crossover can happen very soon. We just got to give it lots of time. We look at the 10-minute chart, and it's almost very obvious that we're going to get a crossover over here where the histogram will actually start ticking. We see the opposite of a staircase, which is a very nice move up, right? Rather than seeing something that can curve like that, okay? Something like that. So altogether, I mean, you guys are always talking about the death cross, right? But you know what? The death cross, let's just change some of my averages to 200. Yes, absolutely. It's death crossing. But you know what? I'm a day trader. I don't really give a crap about the death cross, all right? It could happen in a few days, but it's not that likely yet. Like, not until we hit a specific mark. So I'm not really concerned about the death cross at all in the 50 and the 200 moving average. To a day trader, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing as a day trader, the death cross, other than we're entering a different zone. I mean, death cross on a high time frame, like day traders don't care about the daily chart, guys. We just play it very step by step. And one of the main reasons why I'm making these videos is because I'm accommodating swing trading, right? So yeah. Anyways. So let's just keep looking at 30-minute chart. We're getting a pretty nice pair of tweezers that are coming down right here. Okay, these tweezers are looking very good. You know what, Mark? I'm gonna ban you. I just feel like banning Mark. He says 2 rude things. You are not a trader. You are a gambler. Let's just ban him. I don't really tolerate just dicks in my channel. There we go. Of course, 1 subscriber, you know, no videos whatsoever, create an account just to talk crap. There you go. Enjoy your ban, Mark. Hope you had a lot of fun making a new account for 10 minutes, making a new email, registering your phone just so you could make a dick comment to get banned. Did you like that, Mark? Sounds really fun, right? There you go. I don't really tolerate that stuff, guys. It's like so pointless. You're gonna make it a new account just so you can make one dick comment to get banned? Okay there. You're gonna make a new Twitter account, okay? You're gonna make a new Twitter account because I banned your original account because you want to get the last word in. You're welcome to register a new email. You're welcome to register a new Twitter account, okay? Just so you can get banned very quickly. Just makes absolutely no sense why people would even waste 10 minutes of their life to make one asinine comment to get banned. Makes no sense at all. Let me just have a sip of my coffee. Did you guys get my light joke in the morning? My Litecoin joke, okay? My Litecoin joke went like this, okay? I said, you know how Litecoin was trending between 180 and 170? So because it was trending between 180 and 170, my joke was, well, what is the difference between, Litecoin is range bound between 18 and 17. Do you guys know what the difference between 18 and 17 is? Well, the difference is 5 to 10 years in jail. Now, the dog is upstairs right now, Leon. $2, Leon. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much to buying my dog a tequila there. You know what I'll take, Leon? I'll take one of your Lambos. If you guys don't know who Leon is, he's the newest person added to our chat. This is Lambo Leon right here, okay? He's got like a few Ferraris. He's got a few Lambos. He's the newest person to our chat that we're charging, I think, how much are we charging, Leon, to join our chat? I think it's like $10,000 a year, right? It's a fairly exclusive club right now. And it's only me, Eric Cho, the Big Shed, and Johnny, and Leon in it, and myself. So it's only 5 of us. So we're charging about $10,000 a year to join our very exclusive chat. Leon, though, he didn't really need to do anything to join it. He just sent us a few dick pics, and we're like, okay, we're all Asian. I guess he's in because he's got the biggest one. So Leon's definitely the newest. If you guys don't know who he is on Twitter, he's looking for a bunch of new followers. Let me show you guys who Leon is, okay? He's only got like 200 followers right now. Okay, so you guys should follow Lambo Leon. He's a hilarious dude. That's Leon if you guys don't know, okay? Wow, look at that. Look at that cutie. Look at that cutie right there. Well, who's that girl, I wonder, though? So this is Lambo Leon. You guys can follow him. He needs way more followers. Thanks for all the help. We are learning so much and appreciate it. You're welcome, Life of Two Startup Things. I appreciate it as well. So let's keep going through this chart of mine and talk about projections, right? So this was the first wave going up like that. Okay. So yeah, Leon's pretty funny guy. You know Johnny? He's sending a lot of like dick pics to a bunch of girls. And then we're all telling Leon, we're like, hey Leon, you should lend Johnny a picture of yours, right? Because Johnny's Asian, so if they ever see the picture, they'll be like, okay, why is this white right now? That's pretty funny. Yeah, there's such thing as a there's no such thing as a 353 for a corrective wave. A B always has ABC, or it has like an ABCDE, which is a triangle, but we don't ever call it 353. There's only 535 and 335s, right? That would be called for a zigzag or a flat. So if we keep moving on here, we see that this could possibly be wave 1, 2, and there's 4 somewhere there. 3 there. And if we actually take a look at these extensions, we're nailing these extensions with precision actually, okay? So first of all, we take our correlation method using Fibonacci extensions of these waves, and we say, all right, well, we want, oh, it's actually drawn already in there. We want our 1-to-1 extension to be at least that for wave 3. And then we also say to ourselves, all right, well, we want wave 3 here, right here, to be, man, my dog's already drunk, Leon. Thanks a lot. That went really far. Thanks, guys. My dog is so drunk today. Man, she's having such a good time. She loves that Patron. She went from like just, that, what's it called? Don Jose, that more inexpensive one. She's now like to the Patrons because of you guys. She's having a blast outside right now. So let's just keep going with this. We take our fib extension right here, and then we notice is, all right, well, this one is actually hitting a perfect mark right here of the one-to-one extension, okay? That's what we like to see, that this one is at least hitting a one-to-one extension, which we perfectly see in these regions for wave 3. And then we say to ourselves, all right, wave 5 is most likely then to hit this particular structure around the 1618, which is making perfect sense right now the way I'm seeing the market move. And then after we get these particular waves right here, okay, we see 5 waves, we say to ourselves, where the heck is it likely to correct to? But first of all, we have to understand very thoroughly that this region right here is acting as a major support area, right? So if we end up downtrending, I really cannot see it getting below 8,600. That's why my stop loss right now is about 8,500, okay? That's a very good risk to reward ratio. Eric and I were talking about our R ratios, and we've agreed that entering around 87, 8,800, we'll just say 87.75. Okay, we set our stop loss at around 8,500 at the worst side, or 8,550, for example. Okay, just to make it very tight, we're risking 2% of our money. When we're shooting for about 90, say 93.50, right? So then we're getting ourselves a beautiful risk to reward ratio of about 2.52. Now you can even set your stop a little bit higher than that, 86 maybe. It all comes down to your ability to take pain. So we take our Fibonacci extension from waves 1, just waves 1 right there for wave 2 territory, right? And what we see easily is that this one hit a 618 Fibonacci level, okay? Am I downloading right now? No, I'm not downloading anything right now. So then by the rules of indifference of Elliott wave, we say to ourselves, all right, well, wave 3 is most likely to retrace about the 382 to the 0.5 region. And what we see with flying colors and precision right now is that it's looking pretty good, right? It's definitely looking pretty good. I'm only in a 3 Bitcoin position, just to let you guys know. As soon as we break above 9K, I will be adding 2 more to my position, right? So just to give you guys my bias as well, since you guys know that I'm 100% transparent, as soon as it breaks 9,000 mark, I will be adding 2 more to my position here. So I'm in about a 27, whatever, 28,000, I don't know, 30K position. I'm up $86. Here are all my buys that I've made already. I've been laddering it. I honestly thought we were going to level off around the 88 range, 88.50, but you guys see my buys that I'm getting? Check this out. I'm getting some incredibly low. I literally caught the bottom for some of them, right? I'm catching 760, 770, 780, 790. So it's looking really good right now on my end. So I don't like to make trades without you know, being transparent with you guys. I plan to make about, well, if it goes up here, right? If I play a $50,000 position and I make 6%, I plan to make an easy $3,000 in the next 24 hours, okay? So we see it leveling off here between the 382 and the 382 and the 0.5 level because of the rules of indifference of Elliott wave, right? So there's a very good chance that we could get up there. And now once that gets up there, we say to ourselves, all right, well, if this was the previous cluster of support right now, and this was actually forming a channel as well, well, you know, we're most likely going to break out of the channel eventually, right? This is probably going to hit the top of the channel, I'm thinking. Just something like this, perhaps. Let's just draw our channel a little bit better here. Right? So we're bouncing off of a channel for wave 2, pretty much bouncing off of it for subwave 2 as well, bounce off of it for subwave 3, and now we're pretty much bouncing off of it for subwave 4 as well, right? And then there's one more touch. And if you guys actually notice the symmetry between this line right there and also, you know, this one right there as well to wave 5. So just from simple time analysis using slope trend lines, we can definitely see that this could get to a very high peak up there where it eventually starts to break down. Now, it's looking very good on a 30-minute chart, guys. We ended up getting a tweezer bottom right here, okay? These 2 candles alone, like this pair right here, thank you very much, Captain Salvi. Thank you always, Phil. You trading LTC this bounce? Nope, I'm not trading LTC. I'm gonna be making a lot of videos, and I'm just gonna focus on one swing position, and that's kind of it. I don't really trade as much anymore. I don't day trade that much, guys. Okay, I pretty much just jack. Oh, this guy made a new account again. This guy made a new account again. It took him a few minutes, right? This is the same guy, guys. Check this out. This is the same guy that made a new account right here, okay? Remember the guy who was talking about gambling earlier? And he was talking about going to the casino. Well, he made a new account already. That was pretty fast. You wasted 5 minutes of your life to making an account. So I'm just gonna block you again. That's a really good block. Man, why do you do that? Why do you waste your time to make a new account just to get blocked? It makes no sense at all. What a waste of your time. Why did you guys know that I'm like the #1 most impersonated person on YouTube or on Twitter, right? They always impersonate me, guys, on Twitter. They're trying to create these scam accounts, so please know with 100% certainty that I don't have any paid group, okay? The only paid group that I have is to join our private chat with Eric Cho, Leon, Eric Ched, and also Johnny and myself. The 5 of us were in a group chat. And the next person that can join, we're serious about it. We're charging $10,000 for you guys to join our group chat. It's a very exclusive group chat where we financially advise and always talk about strategy. So if you guys want to join our group chat, that's the first thing that we're doing. It's a $10,000 group chat with literally me, Eric, Johnny, Leon, and Crypto Ched, okay? Now, they don't know about this $10,000 membership fee, okay? They don't know about it. I just made it up on the spot right now. I'm just joking. I don't think anyone's even going to be joining it. So what am I up right now? Okay, I'm now up. I'm up a good amount right now. I'm up $60 on each Bitcoin, so I'm up at least $200 or $180 up already. Now I'm $70 up or $80 up on each Bitcoin. So this counts. I don't know why it accounts for like a 0.2% fee, right? But 0.2 of 30K is like $60. So I'm up way more than that right now. Oh, look at that. We're spiking right now. If you guys actually were listening to my tweets and just took it with a grain of salt there, you guys would have realized that was a really good play to be making, right? Now, don't get me wrong, like we could easily trend back down to over here and test it a few times, but is it really likely for it to do it? Maybe it can do it. Likely, possibly, right? You know what? I'm a trader. I might not even ride this that much, okay? I might not even ride it that much, so we'll see how much I end up riding it. But you know what? I'm gonna ride it. I don't feel like day trading. I want to make a lot of videos. So do you guys see the logic behind this bounce here on the 30-minute chart? The first one, we got a wick piercing it. This one had a massive wick piercing it as well. And this one here, we say to ourselves, okay, that's 3 candles with some massive wicks now. What will the next one actually do? So we're wondering, right? What is it going to do? What is it going to do? So it ended up making a pair. These candles right here is a combination. It's a combination called a tweezer bottom. And when we get a tweezer bottom, there's 2 little wicks that puncture a support. And then we say to ourselves, okay, that's not only a tweezer bottom, but this one right here is also called a bullish spinning top. Think of a rolling pan, okay? Or sorry, a rolling pin. A rolling pin is exactly what a bullish pin bar is, okay? So when we get a bullish pin bar, we say to ourselves, can the next candle form something very bullish? And then surely enough, we ended up getting a massive rejection all the way from what range right here? From the low was 87.84 and it opened at 88.53. So we got a rejection of a $70, which is incredible. Right? And then the 55 EMA was only broken to the downside. We would consider some of this as well as a bear trap, right? Bear trap, we're trending well above the 55 EMA again, as you guys can see. We're going to close successfully below it as well. So all in all, when we look at our scenario, when we combine Elliott wave, when we combine candlestick analysis, when we combine trend line analysis, right, as well, when we look at supports and resistances and Fibonacci retracement and Fibonacci extensions, it was very obvious that it was going to uptrend, in my opinion, right? So overall, it's looking really good. And personally myself, I'm a day trader, okay? I'm a day trader. I might want to consider taking some of my profit. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my profit right here in front of you guys. And I'm just going to buy back on a small dip because I don't believe, this is just me doing this, right? Don't you guys ever follow me and do stuff like this as well, okay? It's not cool to do that. Let's see if it's even going to happen. Come on, just spike it up. Nope, not happening. All right, I'm just going to keep my position then. Hold on, I'm just looking really quickly. Do you guys see how the price is moving like that? Not really too much price action, right? We might get one small more touch on the bottom here. That's fine. If that happens, I'm cool with that because I actually want to buy more. So right now, the 1 minute chart, right? It's finding hesitation. to just go up a little bit more. 3-minute charts leveling off here as well a little bit. Okay, now we're probably just going to get a bounce around the 8,900, and then it's go time again. Is anybody going to buy? Are we spiking up the price, guys? Are we spiking up? Oh, you guys don't even see this. Sorry. You guys don't even see this. I just want to close it at 21 right here, okay? And then I want to buy on a dip at 9K again, and I just want to ladder my profits. Come on, just spike it up a little bit. I'm only right there, right? There's a pretty big wall there at 12.99, so I'm actually just going to lower it, just basically to 20.9 like that, just one below him, because I don't want to meet that wall there. And then if I close my position there, awesome. I'll have just made like I don't know, there we go. I just made how much in front of you guys? $240 profit. Awesome, $240 profit in front of you guys. I will wait for a tiny little dip, and then I will add more. I will buy like probably 4 Bitcoin. So thank you guys for helping me make $240 in front of you. That was really easy. You guys like making $240, which is which is like a day or 2 or 3 of work, right? I don't mind making $240 in a small little bounce. Really easy work in my opinion. It's pretty awesome. So I need to make sure you guys really understand the theory behind this, right? We're combining so many different theories and indicators to see why we can ride. Now remember that I am a day trader, okay? I am a day trader, so I take on multiple positions. Also guys, I have 0% fees, okay? I pay literally no fees because I trade, as you guys saw, I trade well more than $10 million in volume a month, okay? In volume. So because I have really low fees, none, I can actually capitalize on doing things like that. Now, if you guys were to trade it and you don't have that same type of, fee, for example, if you entered a 30K position, right, you'd be paying literally $60 in fees one way to buy, and then $60 again to buy the other way, right? Does that make sense? So then that's $120. So that $240 profit that you just saw would have only been $120 profit, right? So this is why I can do that. And as you guys see now, we're downtrending, right? Downtrending a little bit, so I will most likely want to start laddering my buys even more, right? This is now clearly it's downtrend only $20, but $20 on a really big position is like $60 of profit, right? So my strategy is very unique to my style and to my particular fees because of how I trade, okay? I get 0 fees, take 2 chickens, because I trade. I'm gonna Google it for you guys, okay? This is why. When you reach a certain threshold on Bitfinex, you have no fees. Now, I always go maker fee, so you start off at 0.1% fee when you first open and 0.2% fee for taker, right? But I'm over this, we'll just say I'm over this category over here. I trade somewhere between $10 to $15 million in volume a month, right? Because I'm a day trader, which is very normal. You take a look at, 30, 40K positions that you guys see me play, and if I make 10 of them a day, well, that's like $250,000 to $500,000 in volume a day, right? Well, you just simply do the math as well. If I'm trading, say, on average $300,000 a day, times that by 30, that's easily over $9 million in a month, right? So if you trade a very specific amount of volume, you get 0 fees for the maker. So a lot of people have always asked me that and how I do that. So we're basically on wave 4 here. Wave 5 is easily extrapolated with a 1-to-1 extension of the original wave and also a 1618 extension there. Now we ask, where could this possibly trend? Well, this whole green region, right here as well. And we're also in the channel. We're most likely to end up correcting to a Fibonacci level when that actually completes. So we take our Fibonacci level like here. Okay, and we say to ourselves, all right, this is a very rational place for us to support. It could support anywhere. For now, we have to give it a very wide range, right? A very wide range. We'll take the average at 0.5 Fibonacci here, and we'll say, okay, when it reaches our specific target based on extensions, well, then it's most likely gonna bounce. So here, I will be very interested in doing the exact same thing that you guys saw me do. I will ladder my buy, and I will scale it accordingly. And when I say scale, I'm talking about this, just as an example. So when you scale your buys, what you want to do is you want to maybe buy a small percentage of your position here, right? Small percentage, maybe 5-10%, and then as it gets lower, right, you want to buy maybe more, maybe 15% or 25. Then you buy even more. You might want to buy 30% of your position, and then you want to buy the rest as it gets lower. But if it never actually gets lower and you're confirming these kinds of supports, like how you've confirmed right here, then it's also good to add into strength. And I just want to be clear about how we get to 10K, okay? We get to 10K because of this scenario right here. Go to a high time frame, okay? Go to a very high time frame and go to a log chart. Make sure you're in a log chart. And then what you want to do is you want to draw your trend line like this, okay? It actually extends way farther back. So there we go. We just draw our trend line touching this point right here. And then we're also touching this 11,700 range, right? Just piercing like that. And this is how we get our final subwave going up. So you guys already know all of my possible extensions of my targets. Let's clean up this chart right here a little bit and make it very nice. So now when it gets to this specific region in here, that's kind of where we want to go extremely big, right? We're just playing a tiny little bounce from 4 to 5. Obviously the best one to play would have been from 2 to 3. So from 2 to 3, you guys hear Luna going crazy? So from 2 to 3, as soon as we broke out of these regions, it would have been a very wise choice to know your targets, to enter a long position on this breakout right there, to set your stop loss slightly below there, and to target around that range for a risk to reward ratio of about 2.1. So this would have been a great scenario. Now the next scenario that I'm waiting for, and remember that we plan well ahead of time, guys. As a trader, whether you're a day trader or a swing trader, what you got to do is make sure you are aware of all these possible paths. Think of trading like you're in sales, okay? Like whether you're selling cars or you're on commission of some sort. You want to generate a lot of these leads. I call them leads, right? Where we have like a filter system that we're pushing it through the pipe. So we have a collection of these leads that are far away, and as the time gets closer and closer and closer, we end up making these decisions to stay informed, and we have these potential trade opportunities coming up. So guys, if we easily just take right here, thank you, Sam, I really appreciate that. Oh, Luna's fine. There's a squirrel that she really loves. There's a squirrel that she absolutely loves, and whenever she hears him or sees him outside, because he's got like a nest, and there's like a bird nest outside as well, so she's always going crazy. So we also take our 1618 extension of waves 1 and 2, and we also take roughly a 1-to-1 extension, but slightly less of wave 3. So we take 3 to 4, 1-to-1, and we take waves 1 to 2, 1618. And then that's how we're getting our $10,000 scenario, which is very likely. So this is just a small bounce that we're playing, right? I could be entirely wrong as well, okay? That's why there's a stop loss recommendation, as you guys remember, right? You guys saw it clearly right here as well, that all trades, guys, all trades are not guaranteed. And myself, I don't like exposure, right? Exposure simply means how long you are in a position. Every time you're in a position, you're exposed. And if you're exposed in the market, it might make people nervous. Myself, I don't like to be exposed in the market. That's why I take my tiny little quick profits, because we have to find a strategy that suits our personality. Always remember that. Some people do not have, for example, myself, I have a lot of adrenaline, as you guys notice, right? It's almost like I'm on drugs all the time. I've got a lot of energy. I'm super enthusiastic. I'm like outgoing, to you guys. And because day trading suits that kind of personality, right? That personality who likes the rush, who likes the adrenaline. But if you're more slow paced, like for example, my friend Mel in Thailand, she likes to hold positions and invest and swing basically. So she doesn't trade every day. I talk to her all the time, and I'd suggest like, hey, this is a good time to buy, this is a good time to sell. And she holds it for days at a time, right? So that might be better suited for some people, but it might not be better for some other people as well, okay? So what we're looking for is a stop loss scenario, right? That's what a stop loss is for. We have to make sure that we take these possible plays. We hunt for setups and we shoot in the dark, right? Well, not shoot in the dark, but you're throwing spaghetti on the wall, and not all of them is going to stick. Only some of them will stick. We make sure that we focus on finding these low risk, high probability setups with good risk to reward setups, right? And we have to understand that without risk, there's absolutely no possibility of reward. So whether this goes sideways or not, you guys gotta understand that you keep trying to improve your game by winning more than 50%. If you have good risk to reward ratios, you will inevitably win over time. So please don't even think about it for a moment. Hey Phil, this is my personal account, FYI, Sam the Carpet Man. I may enter your private chat for 10. Oh, Sam, I was just joking, Sam. We don't actually have, we're not charging anything at all for that. It's just kind of like just a friends hangout. I was completely joking because I was making a joke about how I would never charge for content, right? And then I've been making a bunch of jokes throughout Twitter as well. And on Twitter, I was simply saying, you know, I now have a Telegram room, right? I'm now having paid content, and I'll be charging 10 BitConnect a year to join the group chat. So I was just completely joking about that if anybody took it seriously, all right? We don't have a group chat, guys, at all or anything. It's honestly just a bunch of friends that doesn't even talk about, like, really plays or anything or about trading. We just talk about things like, you know, it's like we're just boys. We're just boys hanging out in the chat room doing nothing. So I apologize if that came off the wrong way. So anyways, let's get back to this. You guys understand this 10K scenario, right? Now we are looking to ladder our buys when it gets to these possible regions. And what we're most likely looking for the most is a correction is bound to happen eventually, okay? It is inevitable that a correction will happen. So we're looking to possibly enter, you know, around the reasonable Fibonacci range right here. Thank you, Jack Chiang. I appreciate that very much. So let's say you average out your buy to around 87.50, right? Or even lower, wherever. We'll say 87.50, where after it reaches our next target, we set our stop loss for generous. Okay, make this one a very generous stop loss, in my opinion. I'd probably set it to even below. Like I'm gonna be very. I'm going to set a very high tolerance for my risk. I'm going to probably I'm going to go for 8,300 at the most, okay? Just in case it goes slightly below the 786 fib region for who knows what reason. But what we say to ourselves is that wave 1 territory will actually act as a very, very hard support because it was recently a resistance. It was recently a resistance. So the reason we say this now is by Elliott wave rules, that wave 4 territory does not retrace into wave 1 territory by more than a wick. And we have to consider a wick on high time frames because the rule goes that by the rules of Elliott wave, this happens in non-leveraged markets, right? So in non-leveraged markets, there will be no wick, but in leveraged markets, there will be wicks. So do you guys see why I took my little profit right there, right? I took my profit because we've now downtrended $25. Well, $25 on each Bitcoin is $75, right? I'd rather take my quick profit as a day trader, which is not recommended for a lot of people. Do not day trade if you cannot invest and hold and have that emotional stability first, right? And do not day trade if you cannot swing trade. You need to be able to play it on high time frames first before you progress to these lower time frames. These lower time frames is actually what's going to allow you, or sorry, the high time frames, it's what's going to allow you to make quicker decisions on low time frames. So you guys got to remember that the bigger players, right, who are very fast with good technical analysis, like our job is to play against each other on very low time frames. So you guys got to make sure your skills are up there. If you're going to be an athlete playing in these low time frames, you got to make sure that your skills as an athlete or trader is on par with some of the best traders out there. So for example, if this is a deadly game of competition, right? It's all that it is. It's all pure competition. So if you guys want to day trade, you can think of it like this. You guys are competing against people like me or like Eric Cho. So you guys have to be better than a lot of other people to succeed in day trading. So like, right, once again, like this wave here, don't worry about it too much, in my opinion. You know, it's definitely showing signs of support. The lowest possible range for the people panicking, I just want to alleviate some of your nervousness right now, is, you know, we're definitely seeing bullish signs right now, right? So it could get even again to 87.50, it could get to 86.36, but either way, we know our defined targets and we stick to these high probability setups that offer risk to reward. So the next plays after this is I will be shooting for 10K. No doubt in my mind, I will be shooting for $10,000 with a beautiful risk to reward ratio of about 3 to 1. So I take 3 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Absolutely. 100%. I'm going to be taking them all the time. So you guys have my targets. You know where they stand. They stand at around 9250 to about 9300, right around there. And this is actually a good sign all around. Just interested in your opinion on the upcoming death cross on the daily. How do you think the impact will be? I will show you guys my opinion of this death cross, okay? I will be very, very stern on my opinion because I have not presented a bearish scenario yet. I do not believe that Bitcoin is done correcting. Not even close. This is pure market will and sentiment to sustain the life of Bitcoin. Everybody has been itching for months now to have a bullish market. Therefore, because we have reached very key support levels and Fibonacci levels that have found confluency, it is inevitable for us to eventually bounce. We have to understand that Bitcoin is in the very early stages, right? We're talking about the AOL days of internet, right? And because we're in the AOL stages of the internet, it's very primitive, the technology, and there's much more development that's going to be in the community. So we're finding a lot of confluency of it bouncing over here. We're finding that trend line I just drew. We're finding the flavor of the month of the 786 Fibonacci extension here for waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That goes like that with our double top or truncated fifth wave. We're finding also an ABC that's reaching a 78.6 region, right here. So because we're finding all these confluent regions, 786 from ABC, 78.6 for waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is ABC for the people that don't know, right? ABC and also this trend line, definitely there's going to be a bounce. Inevitable, right? So this 10K target, I really don't think we're going to break it, right? I mean, people who are itching right now for an 11, 12, 13, 14,000 scenario, yeah, you guys got to consider that this has been trending since December 17. This slope trend line that hit 3 major key areas, right? We usually don't break it until the 6th one, right? So I think that this is a possibility, right? This right here could simply be a failed impulse wave upwards, right? Where this made ABC and it finished the correction. So now this was actually wave 1, right? This was wave 1, this was waves 2, and then we're trying to make a wave 3, but we failed the impulse wave up, retracing lower than 7,200. So in my opinion, we're going to bounce up here, right? 10K, we're going to really test it. Maybe a 20% chance of us entering a bullish market, depending on what kind of fundamental news is available. We need some major announcement, guys. We need Donald Trump to say something like, "I approve of Bitcoin. Everybody buy it." We need something like mainstream media saying something like Bitcoin will be Bitcoin is not in the bubble. This is going to be one of the best financial investments of all time. It's on par with gold. Everybody should buy Bitcoin. We need something to say like something to say like Facebook will be, you know, hosting you know, their social media site on a blockchain. We need something like Amazon to say, okay, we now accept Bitcoin as a primary payment, and we'll end up giving a discount of 10% to cryptocurrency people who pay like that, right? So we need some fundamental news that's going to change the perception of blockchain technology and Bitcoin. We need new money to be entered into the market. And because there's a lack of new money being entered into the market right now, the only thing that we have is what everybody knows already. So the market cap is going to be very steady, in my opinion, between 300 and 450 billion dollars. But eventually, over time, I believe this year could be a very big year for Bitcoin, where it could still reach $35,000. Right? That's a really big number. So right now, there's some guy who's buying $450 million of Bitcoin. Every time there's a major dip, he's been buying it for a long time now, guys. He's been buying it here at 6K. He was buying it right here at 8K. He bought tons over here as well, around 7.2K. And this guy is like just stocking up on Bitcoin right now because he believes. Imagine having $400 million of Bitcoin, guys, and it goes up to 35K and your base price is about 7.5K. Well, your $400 million just turned to $1.6 billion, right? So we have to think of it from that perspective as well. So now if that actually ended up failing, then, you know, just to keep it very short here, we would end up getting a W, we have an X there, we have a Y, and this would actually be a failed impulse wave going up, right? This makes ABC. This point right here, this would be wave 1, I guess. So this could be an X point, so this one didn't even make another wave. So then oh, I'm drawing it entirely wrong. I meant to draw WXYZ, just to give you guys a basic example of how we can end up getting failures in the wave. This could be considered a fail wave, right? failed wave because we end up, first of all, breaking this point at 7.2k. So this will be a failed wave first. And then if we end up breaking below that, it could be a free for all to 6k. And then we can end up getting a massive extension here. So then we end up getting an 11 wave correction instead. This makes 1, this makes 2, that makes 3, that makes 4, this makes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and an 11 wave corrective pattern. And that's how we end up getting a ridiculous 4 or 5k scenario still. So I don't know if exactly if it's going to break it, but these are just possible alternate counts. Thank you very much, Nam. I really appreciate that, Mr. Nguyen. My dog, also named Luna, wants to buy Luna a shot of Henry. I appreciate that very much. She says thank you. I'll make sure to shove it in her face and bottle feed her a lot of liquor. So yeah, I genuinely appreciate that. Your dog is super cute, by the way. This is his dog, if you guys didn't see it, right? I love white dogs, right? But I'm more so a BDL. Do you guys know what a BDL is? Do you guys know what a BDL is? Are you guys a BDL? You guys love BDLs? I'm a BDL. I'm a black dog lover, okay? I love black dogs. I'm a you know, black dog lover. Some people are BWLs, right? They're BWL. They, you know, so sorry. That I made a really bad joke there. I shouldn't have probably made a really dirty joke like that. Sorry, some people are WDLs is what I meant to say, okay? WDL, right? Some people are BDLs, some people are WDLs. I'm a black dog lover. To each their own. But you know, when you get a black dog and you get a white dog, you get an interracial action there, and they're very cute together. So yeah. So anyways, I'm done with that joke. Yeah, so I think you guys have my projections, my targets, right? You guys got everything. You got your stop losses. Like, I can't even account for a scenario that I didn't account for. You know, the worst case scenario, guys, that I'm going to go over is this scenario. I think we should go over a worst case scenario, okay? A worst case scenario is that this is actually like a major, I can't even count the wave properly, but the worst case scenario, guys, is you get stopped out, okay? You get stopped out or something, and we break well below this major support region, right? I mean, think of how hard it was to break out of here, okay? I don't think the market's just gonna let it free fall back below, you know, this region around 86. It just doesn't seem likely, right? I mean, do you guys see that as likely? I personally don't. So because it's really not that likely, we have to assume that it's going to hold. That's why I'm saying my stop loss around 8,600, right? But think of it like this, okay? You guys bought yourself 1 Bitcoin, okay? You bought yourself 1 Bitcoin, and you tried to go for a possible 8,000, 9,300 range, and you actually got, or say right here, you entered, right? And you got stopped out right here. Okay, well, if you played a 10K position, you just lost $188. Big whoop-diddy-doo, $188, okay? It's nothing. And then we'd say, okay, well, what if this was all the first subwave here instead, right? Right? And then we're going to trend down to maybe one of these regions. Well, no problem. Then we have another major target. This would be a target right there. You would average out your price here, or even the 618. Let's just, you know, we'll average out between the 618 and also the and 618 and the 0.5 level, right? Stop loss maybe below the golden ratio, because from here to here it's kind of free fall. There's really no support. I'd probably choose this structure over here, and then you would go for a bigger play like that, say something like that up there, right? Now you still have a 2.75 risk to reward. So okay, you lost that first one, you risked 1.88% of your money, which is only like, you know, 100, let's say 2%, okay? You lost $200, and then the next one plays out, no problem, right? You're gonna make $1,300 on your next play, which completely negates your $200 loss. So in the grand scheme of things, who cares if you lose 1 or 2 trades? It means absolutely nothing at all. All that matters is that we focus on winning over time. So that's kind of it, guys. That is the end of the technical analysis. And yeah, I'm gonna just reading over some questions here. Yeah, EOS is on fire, right? I mean, like, just to do a very quick recap on some of the coins right here, like, Litecoin didn't really correct to where I thought it would. Okay, I was completely off. I thought it was gonna correct down to over here, right? Like from wave 5 to right over here, but I was completely off. So this one actually ends up going like this instead. But hey, guess what? We ended up trending right to my region. So I still technically got it right. I just didn't get the time right. right? I did not advise anybody to enter into here. I advised you guys to maybe wait over here from the last chart. I mentioned that this was a resistance area. Now the resistance area becomes a support, right? Woohoo! It ends up looking really good here for Litecoin. Same type of formation with Bitcoin, bouncing off of the 100 EMA. So Litecoin is looking splendid right now. What's target for Litecoin if we actually end up bouncing here? Well, this one hit, woohoo, 1618 region right there. It's looking pretty good. Actually, that could be really wrong, okay, for Litecoin. Litecoin could be really wrong the way it's looking. Like, this could be waves 1. Okay, that could be waves 2. That could be 3 and 4 and 5. So Litecoin, you know, could be correcting right now a little bit more than I thought. Because we hit these marks right here. Yeah, pretty much still. Litecoin, I'm not, actually, yeah, I'm going to trade it now that I see it. I'll buy Litecoin above. Why would I not want to buy Litecoin above the same type of structure that Bitcoin's doing? So anywhere above 160 is definitely a zone I'll be interested in. And the next target for Litecoin, just based on these extensions over here, is probably pretty generous, I'd say. Litecoin could be going up to, wow, perfect, it hit the 1-to-1 extension. Wicked. Next target for Litecoin is roughly $180 if it ends up bouncing. But we gotta wait, gotta give a lot of time for Litecoin to finish, because it's a lot more bullish than Bitcoin right now. But it's definitely targeting about the 180 to 186 region. No, I deleted my chart by accident. EOS, right? EOS, we assume parallelity, right? Wicked. Or NEO rather. This is what I mentioned yesterday in my chat, or in my tweet. This was the resistance, and guess what? The resistance becomes support. Woohoo! It's actually looking really good right now. We assume parallelity, assume it would make a channel, but it actually broke out of the channel. That's okay if it broke out of it. That was our buy zone anyway, so we're right in a pretty decent buy zone for NEO. EOS, I don't really know too much about it right now because I'm not following it heavily. Wow, looking pretty good. EOS is a lot more bullish than the other coins right now. That's pretty awesome, right? Looking very, very bullish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, oh, wow, it's super bullish right now. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell right now that this is subwaves 1, that's subwaves 2, that's probably 3, that's probably 4, that's probably subwave 5. It probably did a perfect 1-to-1 extension. Yes, it sure did. Textbook, guys, textbook. Okay, this is a textbook example. You buy on the breakout, like I've been always talking about. Who cares about the first uptrend, okay? Who cares about the first uptrend a lot of the time? This strategy that I'm going to tell you guys about is called a breakout strategy. With the breakout strategy, what you do is you wait for the waves 1 and 2 to form. You draw a trend line, right? After you see it leveling off, you buy it right here at the breakout, okay? You buy right there at the breakout, and you target a 1-to-1 extension for this wave here. You take some of your profit when it gets to around there, and then you buy a little bit more on the breakout on wave 3, and then you target the 1618 extension. How many days have I been talking about this for now, or how many months, guys? This strategy doesn't change. Like, it's an amazing strategy. It has made people a lot of money, right? So yeah, so this is making some sort of ABC structure in here, I'm guessing, right? Super bullish right now. That's making some sort of ABC, I'm guessing, or whatever, right? In there, and we end up eventually breaking out, or it could have even made an A, B, C, D, and E. Yeah, that's more likely, actually. This one is making an ascending triangle pattern with 3, 3, 3, 3s, right? We can easily see the 3s in here. The A wave made a 5-wave structure, right? That's okay. This is the A, B, C, D, E. It's starting its official wave right now, going upwards. It's much more bullish than a lot of other coins right now. Never mind Bitcoin, right? This is looking great. This is the first subwave of the next one. Where's the possible target for EOS? If Bitcoin hits 10,000, well, next possible target for EOS is up to $7.33. Yeah, so that's how we just simply derive targets, right? This one looks like it's doing the third wave, at least something like this. Who knows how it's going to be? But just to give you guys a quick example, I'm not really that familiar with EOS. I just want to be clear with you guys, okay? It's not my main coin that I trade. It's I don't do a lot of TA on EOS, so because of that reason, always take my advice with EOS with a grain of salt, because I don't spend a lot of time on lower market cap coins compared to Bitcoin, for example, okay? It's still a high market cap coin, but I spend a lot more time, of course, focusing on this right here. So anyways, guys, I'm going to end it right here. We tried to do a quick summary of these coins. Thank you very much for joining me. No, I'm gonna pass, silly. I don't feel like looking at Verge. I don't care about coins outside of my top 6. The only coin that I care about doing TA on, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, which I'm skipping today, Neo, EOS, and XRP. So that's it, guys. I'm completely done the TA. It's been over an hour right now already. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to close the stream. If you guys have had a fantastic time, I would really appreciate an upvote on Steemit. If you guys have made a killing in the market, you guys are welcome to donate to the cryptocurrency piggy bank. But please know that I accept only donations of 192,000 Bitcoins and up, okay? Only 192,000 Bitcoins and up if you guys have killed it in the market. Anything less, and I'll probably just end up giving away the Bitcoin because it's not worth my time. No, I'm kidding. If you guys ever do, always just buy me a lunch, buy me a coffee, and that is it. Don't ever go beyond your means. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Now let's relax and let's see how far we can ride this wave together. And I will keep you guys updated throughout the day. Thank you very much for joining me. I love you, baby whales, mini dolphins, and tiny, tiny little penguins. May you guys always march to safety. Bye now.